Hi everyone, this is Disha Dioxide and you are watching CEO Secrets, what made them successful and how we can make it. Today I am here with Bhaskar Kalale, who is the chairman of EqualizeRCM, a Mysore-based healthcare KPO company. We will talk about his journey and his experiences. Was your path to success easy, sir? Was it hard work, luck, or was it a balance of both?
It's a balance of both. Hard work definitely cannot be substituted. It cannot be counted out at all. If you are riding your luck, you are going to be riding your luck only for a brief period of time. Hard work is something that is out there to stay with you for the longer period of time. Right? So, luck, I don't know really what it really means, because different people will probably have a different luck. But what I really think of luck being is you being ready to take care of the opportunities or take the opportunities when it is presented to you. Right? And I think some people have innate ability to recognize those opportunities and jump on it. And some people do not have that ability for whatever reason. Right? So it could be, you can call it as God-given gift. You can call it as their street smartness or whatever it might be. But I feel that the opportunity, when it presents itself and you're able to grab that opportunity with both your hands, people will probably say that, look, that guy got lucky. Right? So the opportunity came to him. But what they forget is the opportunity might have come, but you have to be able to recognize it and then grab it.
Yes.
Right? So to be able to recognize when an opportunity is presented itself requires you to be very informed about a variety of things that is happening around you.
True.
Right? So one other example I can give is, why some of these startups are so successful, and many startups fail. And that is because, the founders, they are able to recognize the opportunity, and they are able to recognize the opportunity because they are very aware of the environment in which they live. They're very aware of the problems, whether it could be social problem or it could be a business problem that exists, and they're looking for a solution. You will not find any entrepreneur or any businessman who has a solution looking for a problem. You always have a problem, then you try to find a solution. Right? So if you have a solution and looking for a problem, then it is like looking for something in a haystack that may not happen. Right? So I think being ready to grab those opportunities is very, very critical. So I would say it's more of hard work, being aware of your environment, talking to people, learning from their experiences, whoever it might be. It could be your junior, it could be your peer, it could be your seniors, etc. And then working through it. Now, not everybody will have the same cycle of life. So some people may go ahead of me at the same stage. Some people would be behind me. But ultimately, everybody will figure out a way to lead their life comfortably as they want. Right? So I would say students should never worry about saying, hey, he got a package of 10 lakhs and I got only 8 lakhs package, for example. Right? Maybe he will plateau out after 12 lakhs and you will probably keep going up. Right? And another example I would give, or analogy I would give, is not every flower blooms at the same time during spring.
True, that is true.
Right? So that means every flower has its own life cycle, and all of us have our own life cycle. Some people will attain success very early in life and they'll probably plateau out, and some people will attain success later on in their life and they'll probably stay there. Right? So I would say it's a long story, but to answer your question, I think it's a combination of both, but again with emphasis on hard work.
Emphasis on hard work. Yeah. Wonderful, sir. Did you ever feel like giving up? Because like you said, life cycle is pretty long to be consistent and come to this far. Did you ever feel like giving up, and what kept you going when you did so?
Never thought of giving up, because one big question was, if I give up, do what? Right? So there has to be an alternative. Right? And I never thought of giving up. It's easy to give up. It's easy to, when you are beaten down, it's very easy to stay there. Right? I think it's the real character of a person shows up when you're able to get up and again, then start walking again. And you don't have to start running from the moment you get up. Start crawling and then walking and then running. Right? And how many times can the life beat you down? Only so many times.
True.
right? So ultimately, life also, you have to get to the point where life has to say, boss, I'm done with you.
I give up.
I give up.
Go
You
ahead.
continue. Yeah, so never give up. It's giving up is very, very easy. There are lots of challenges. As I said, it's going to be personal challenges. There are going to be professional challenges that people will go through, and particularly one when people are, let's say, on the family way. They get married, they have kids, etc., etc. It becomes very challenging, and more so for women than it is for men, right? So as I said, giving up is very easy. My particular encouragement to all the female students is keep looking for opportunities to not give up hope of making a difference in this world, making a difference for yourself, right? It's very easy otherwise in an environment like we have in India where you're always beaten down, right? But you have to stand up for what you believe in and keep fighting. So it doesn't mean you go and fight with your parents and in-laws and everybody, but what I mean is you have to believe that you can make a difference. You're capable of much better things than what you have been made to believe.
Wonderful, sir. What was your biggest obstacle in your career path and how did you overcome it?
I don't know if there are biggest obstacles per se. There are obstacles. See, Disha, there are always obstacles that are thrown your way, right? Sometimes, as I said, life throws it at you. Sometimes it is people around you who happen to be having a totally different agenda. You just have to navigate. So I don't believe there was any one particular obstacle that was big. One thing, however, I can tell you, one biggest obstacle for me in early days of my growing up was ability to communicate in English. Was my biggest obstacle. And what had happened was my father was working in a very, very remote area in Madhya Pradesh. And we were so I had my primary education in a very remote area and literally in an Adivasi school where we would sit on the on the floor and learn. And when we were in, I was in 6th grade, my father decided to take a transfer to a bigger city. And then when I came to 8th grade, my father said, okay, and all was Hindi medium, right? So I did not know anything else. And when I came to the 8th grade, my father decided to put me in a English medium school. And I did not know even the English alphabets. Forget about being able to form sentences or words. That I think was a very, very big challenge for me, right? So because being thrown into a larger city environment, moved from a totally Hindi medium school to a totally English medium school. And I say that, I knew answers to only 2 questions. If my teacher were to ask, what's your name and which school you have come from? If they interchange the order of the questions, then I would be host because it was purely rote learning. Right? But from that point onwards, to be able to learn the English language was a struggle, right? But that was something, somehow, I don't know how, it came to me that I have to be good at what I'm trying to do, which is to learn English, because that I figured that was my weakest link in whatever I wanted to do. I think that was probably the biggest obstacle. And there were some personal challenges along the way with the death of my father at a very early age and so on and so forth. But you just have to get up and keep running. So.
Wonderful, sir. What are 3 things or 3 unique skills that are unique to you that made you successful, sir?
That's a good question. One thing I would say that quest for knowledge. Okay, so I'm constantly reading something or the other. I'm constantly trying to gather more information about about anything and everything. It is just not any specific thing about a business or anything, but I'm generally interested in knowing why things work the way they work.
Very curious.
Yes, correct, exactly. I think you stole my next point, which was to have a sense of curiosity. Right. I think that's very, very critical for somebody, and I encourage people to think about, and I believe that we all have a very strong analytical brain. All of us do, right? We have forgotten how to apply it in a conscious way. Okay, and I can give you one example. Let's say you are going to your college the very first day, right? You would have taken some route from your house to the college. Second or third day, you will try another route. Third, fifth day, you will try another route. And very soon, you will settle down on one particular route that you will take every day, no matter what.
Yes.
Right? To the extent that you can potentially or pretty much close your eyes and drive on that road, and you will still reach the college. You would know where the potholes are, you will know where the road humps are, which building, which store, which gate, etc., etc. You will know everything by heart. Now, if you look at why does that happen? It happens because all of us unknowingly are gathering the information around us, right? So from your first day in the college, you started to gather the data. When you're driving, you're looking at the road and whatever else. And then unknowingly, you're also analyzing the data. Once you analyze the data, you came into the result saying, okay, this route makes best sense. It is a shorter time, less potholes, whatever may the reason be. But you have already gone through those three sets of those three stages of gathering the data, doing the analysis, and acting on it. Right? So that is exactly the same thing that you ask any business person that they do. They gather the data, they analyze the data,
And then they work on
and they act on it. Right? So what younger people should do is to look at or make that analytical part of the brain come to the forefront. Make it a conscious effort. So that's, I think, is probably one of the things that the curiosity is very, very important, gathering of data. And I think that defines everything. Gathering of data could be, when I say data, it is gathering of information essentially, right? It could be political, it could be economical, it could be social, it could be anything. That is one. The second one, I think, stay humble, right? So no matter what people tell you, you're good, you're great, you're best, etc., etc. I think it's very, very important that the leaders should be able to stay grounded. Always consider that what you have is more privileged than what many other people do not have. Right? So I think that's a second ingredient where it becomes very, very humbling. It should be humbling. So we can't be, have a chip on our shoulder and walking around. So.
Yes. Wonderful, sir. We've reached the end of today's interview. Thank you, sir, for sharing your wisdom with me and interacting with me and reminding me to always keep learning.
Thank you very much, Disha, for having me on your show. I think it's a wonderful segment, and I really enjoy talking with you and answering your questions. I hope it helps the younger students to learn from my experience and implement them. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you, sir. It was an honor to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching.